If you're on social media, you've definitely seen soft launching. Those rather mysterious posts with maybe a second coffee mug, a hand in the corner of a photo, or a shadow of someone next to you, but never actually showing who you're dating. It's like being in a relationship but keeping your partner secret from the internet. And while everyone talks about it like it's just a cute trend, the psychology behind why people soft launch is actually way more complex and revealing than you might think. Because soft launching isn't really about privacy, it's about control, vulnerability, and particular fears about love in the digital age. Welcome to Huddle Psychology. I'm Rahul Nair. So, as always, let's set up the definition. First and foremost, we need to understand that soft launching is when you are kind of hinting at being in a relationship on social media without revealing who your partner actually is. You might post photo pictures that show evidence of another person. For example, two plates at dinner, someone's leg in your car, a mysterious hand holding yours, all of these stuff. But you never show their face. You never show their face or you never tag them in your posts. It's the opposite of hard launching, which is when you post very clear couple pictures, tag your partner, and make the relationship completely public right from the beginning. On the surface, soft launching seems like a healthy middle ground between oversharing your relationship and keeping it completely secret. But when you look at the psychology behind it, you start to see that it's often driven by some pretty specific fears and attachment patterns that say a lot about how we approach love and vulnerability in the age of social media. It speaks a lot. So let's dig into it a bit more deeper. The first reason why people often do soft launch is to maintain a certain amount of control over their narrative and protect their relationship from any kind of outside influence. When you hard launch, on the contrary, when you hard launch a relationship, you're opening it up to public scrutiny. People have opinions about your partner, your compatibility with your partner, whether you seem happy with the partner, etc., etc. They make comments, they ask questions, and suddenly your rather private relationship becomes a public discussion. Soft launching lets you share your happiness without inviting that level of input from the public sphere. You get to control exactly how much people know and when they know it. It's like saying, I'm happy and loved, but this is still mine. This is exactly, or this is actually a pretty healthy boundary in many ways. Social media can be, as you know, incredibly toxic for relationships. When your relationship is public, every fight, every rough patch, every moment of doubt, all of that gets amplified by people who think they know what's best for you. We know this happens on social media. But here's where it kind of gets more complicated. Sometimes the, the desire for control comes from a place of fear rather than healthy boundary setting. Fear that people won't approve of your partner, fear that showing vulnerability will be used against you, or fear that making it public makes it way more real and therefore more potentially scary for you. The second major driver of soft launching is often attached, is often related to attachment anxiety and the fear of vulnerability. Let's talk about that a little bit more. For people with anxious attachment, making a relationship public can feel rather terrifying because it means admitting to the world that you care about someone deeply. And caring deeply means you could be hurt if it actually doesn't work out. Soft launching becomes a way to kind of have your cake and eat it too. You get to be excited about your relationship and share that joy, but you don't have to fully commit to the vulnerability of saying, this person means everything to me, and I'm scared, but I'm hopeful, all of this stuff. There's also this psychological safety net where if the relationship ends, you don't have to deal with the public aftermath. You never posted couple photos, so you don't have to delete them anyway. People don't know who you were dating, so they can't ask rather awkward questions or make comments about your breakup. So it's like what do you call, an emotional insurance where you're protecting yourself from potential embarrassment or social consequences if things go sideways, if things go wrong. But the problem is, when you're always preparing for things to go wrong, you're not fully showing up. You're not fully showing up for when things go right. And unwittingly, you might just make things go wrong eventually. So it's important to keep that in mind. Soft launching also kind of reflects some very specific anxieties about modern dating culture. We live in an age where relationships are more public than any time before, right? But also more fragile. It's more public, than ever before, and it's ever so much more fragile. People break up over text messages, they ghost each other and move on to new relationships at lightning speed. The idea of publicly declaring your love for anyone, for someone who might ghost you next week, feels genuinely risky, isn't it? There's also this pressure, there's also this pressure to have a perfect relationship on social media. When you hard launch, people expect constant updates, cute couple content, anniversary posts, etc. Your relationship becomes kind of performative, whether you want it to be or not. Your relationship becomes a stage show, whether you want it to be or not. Soft launching lets you kind of opt out of that performance while still participating in the social aspect of sharing your life. You get to be a little mysterious and romantic without the pressure of kind of maintaining a perfect couple brand, if you know what I mean. But here's what's kind of interesting: soft launching can also be a way of keeping your options open. If you never fully claim, if you never fully claim your partner publicly, it's easier to entertain other people's attention or keep kind of potential backup options interested, etc. So it maintains a level of ambiguity, ambiguity that some people find strategically useful. So soft launching allows you to keep your options open. And some people like that level of ambiguity and they find it strategically useful, right? That's what soft launching allows you to do, or allows some people to do. Now, there is genuinely positive psychological aspect to soft launching that's really worth acknowledging. It's not all bad. For some people, keeping their relationship somewhat private creates a sense of, what do you call it, intimacy and specialness, right? It's like this is ours and we don't need the world's validation to know it's real, that kind of thing. So there's something beautiful about having a love, a relationship that exists primarily between two individuals rather than being a public spectacle. There's something beautiful about that. It can actually strengthen the bond between you and your partner, and any partner for that matter, strengthen the bond between partners when they feel like they have something, when you feel like you have something precious that you are protecting together, right? So it can actually strengthen the bond by giving you something to protect together. So soft launching can also be a way of maintaining individual identity while being in a relationship, right? So you get to share your happiness without your entire online presence becoming about being someone's girlfriend or boyfriend. You don't have to do that. So, this is especially important for people who have lost themselves in relationships before, or who have had their identity completely consumed by being part of a couple. For them, soft launching can be a boon, can be a blessing. It's a nice strategic way to deal with your identity, your relationship, your privacy, etc. So let's talk about some of the potential downsides as well. Since we talked about some of the positives, let's talk about some of the negatives. So, soft launching is not always healthy, and it can sometimes indicate or create problems in your relationships. Let me explain. If you are soft launching because you are embarrassed about your partner, unsure about your relationship, or trying to keep your options open, that's not protecting your relationship. That's avoiding your commitment to it. Let me repeat that. If these are some of the reasons why you are soft launching, because you are embarrassed about your partner, you're unsure of the relationship, or you're trying to keep your options open, then this is not protecting your relationship. It is basically avoiding commitment to it. It can also create insecurity for your partner. Soft launching can create insecurity for your partner. If someone is always hiding you from their social media handles, it can feel like they're ashamed of you in some way or the other, or not serious about the relationship, even if that's not the intention. There's also the question of whether soft launching prevents you from fully embracing and celebrating your love. So, when you're always holding back, always maintaining some kind of distance, you might be protecting yourself from hurt, but you're also protecting yourself from joy. It cuts both ways. And sometimes soft launching becomes a very uh, interesting, difficult, and challenging way of avoiding difficult conversations. Sometimes soft launching becomes a way of avoiding difficult conversations about what you want from the relationship. It's easier to keep things confusing or unclear or ambiguous online than to have kind of honest conversations and discussions about commitment, expectations, and the future, etc. So sometimes soft launching becomes this kind of barrier to open conversation. It becomes a barrier to having difficult conversations, which are all essential if you want to have a healthy relationship with your partner. So that kind of segues into asking, I mean, is there healthy and unhealthy ways of soft launching? So, how do you know, for example, if your soft launching is coming from a healthy place or an unhealthy place? So, let's try and explore the answer to that question. Healthy soft launching is a conscious choice, like I mentioned before, it's a conscious choice made together as a couple to protect your privacy and maintain boundaries with social media. Both people are on board. It feels good to both of you, and it's not coming from any kind of fear or shame, etc. Unhealthy. Unhealthy soft launching is when you're hiding your partner. You're hiding your partner because you're not sure about them, because you're embarrassed, because you want to keep other options open, or because you're too afraid of vulnerability to publicly commit, to caring about someone. The key questions then, the key questions to ask yourself are the following: am I doing this to protect something precious? Or am I doing this to avoid something scary? Am I doing this to protect something precious? Or am I doing this to avoid something scary? Secondly, am I making this choice with my partner? Or am I making this choice despite my partner's feelings? So the question is, are you both on board or is it just one way? And then lastly, is this boundary serving our relationship or is it preventing our relationship from deepening? Ask yourself, is it helping our relationship or is it not? So then, what are the potential solutions to this? Let's explore that for a couple of minutes. If you're someone who soft launches, here, uh, here is a few ways to make sure you're doing it in a healthy way and for healthy reasons. Firstly, be honest with yourself. Be absolutely honest with yourself about your motivations. Are you protecting your relationship or protecting yourself from your relationship? Two different things. Secondly, communicate with your partner about your social media boundaries. Make sure you're both comfortable with how you're representing your relationship online. It has to be mutual, not just one person's intent. Thirdly, check in with yourself about whether your soft launching is coming from fear. If you're avoiding vulnerability or commitment, that's something that is worth exploring. And maybe you can think of consulting a therapist who might work with you to explore these challenges. Fourth, remember that there's no right or wrong way to share your relationship online. Whether you soft launch, hard launch, or don't post about relationships at all. What matters is that your choice feels authentic and serves your actual relationship. That's what is important, not just your social image. That is what is really important. And finally, don't let social media strategy replace real one to one intimacy and commitment. Don't let social media strategy take over. However you choose to post about your relationship, make sure you're showing up fully for your partner in real life as opposed to real life, right? So soft launching might seem like just another social media trend, but like most things we do online, it reveals a lot. about our fears, desires, and how we approach love and vulnerability. Whether you're a team soft launch or team hard launch, it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is that your choices are as intentional as possible and serving your actual relationship and not just your online persona. So, whether it is hard launch, soft launch, no launch, whatever, just as long as it is serving your needs and your relationship, that's all that really matters in the end. So, if this video made you think about your own relationship with privacy and vulnerability, then please hit the like button and let me know in the comments as to, are you a soft launcher or not? What drives your social media choices when it comes to relationships? Leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you. And as always, you can visit our blog to go deeper into the subject with suggested readings and references by visiting huddlepsychology.substack.com. And if there's anything in this video, any ideas, any thoughts that we've covered here that you'd want to talk to me one on one, then please drop me a line at rahul@huddlepsychology.com. Introduce yourself, share your story with me, and I'll try and reach back as quickly as I can. And if you want more psychology content that kind of explores how modern cultures shapes our relationship patterns, our behaviors, then make sure that you subscribe to our channel because we are diving deeply into all of it. So until next time, keep flourishing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.